Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. Today is September the 20th. I'm going to do your Just for Today in a meditation. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation. This is our H.O.O.D Recovery Services. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Let's go ahead and get into the screen. I want to remind you to make sure that you listen, like, subscribe, and share with your friends that you know could benefit from this meditation. September 20th, courage to change. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Taken from the Serenity Prayer. Recovery involves change, and change means doing things differently. The problem is, many of us resist doing things differently. What we're doing may not be working, but at least we're familiar with it. It takes courage to step out into the unknown. How do we find that courage? We can look around us, we can look around ourselves at NA meetings. There we see others who found they needed to change what they were doing and who've done so successfully. Not only does that help quiet our fear that change, any change, spells disaster, it also gives us the benefit of their experience with what does work, experience we can use in changing what doesn't. We can also look at our own recovery experience. Even if that experience so far has been limited to stopping the use of drugs, still we have made many changes in our lives, changes for the good. Whatever aspect of our lives we have applied the steps to, we have always found surrender better than denial, recovery superior to addiction. Our own experience and the experience of others in NA tells us that changing the things I can is a big part of what recovery is all about. The steps and the power to practice them gives us the direction and courage we need to change. We have nothing to fear. Just for today, I welcome change. With the help of my higher power, I will find the courage to change the things I can. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. I know you've often heard me say that this is a powerful just for today. This serenity, the topic of it rather, is a powerful prayer. And I just love the fact that there is a just for today meditation focused just on the prayer. I'm not a person that believes in praying by rote, but I do believe that it serves its purpose, especially when I'm in the heat of a situation and I need to bring my adrenaline and my focus and my spirit into alignment quickly. These are some words that I can utter. And as I'm speaking them, my brain, my ears are listening. And as I am listening, right, to these words, the energy that I'm feeling on the inside is changing. It's the most amazing thing. Okay. So you've heard of affirmations, right? If you just uttered 3 or 4 affirmations and you said something to the nature that God loves me, I love God, God loves other people, I love other people. Today, I will practice love. Those 5 short sentences, right? God loves me, I love God, God loves other people, I love other people. Today, I will practice love. Write it down, right? Those 5 short sentences. If you said that to yourself enough times, really just once, you will start to find the energy within you, the way that you're thinking starts to change. Now, all of a sudden, you've gone from wanting to cuss somebody out to understanding that not only does God love you, but God also loves them. And you have the capacity to love them as well. And you're going to practice love. The power of words, the words that we say, the words that we speak, have the ability to change on the minutest level, on the cellular level. It has the ability to change how we feel and how we act. I remember one time, I'm trying to remember this doctor's name so that you can go to it on YouTube. But this doctor, he did a study with the power of words just on water, okay? And he was able to show and to prove that certain formations happen with water when certain words are spoken, positive words or negative words. And he shows us with the help of a microscope to see the crystals that the water forms when people speak positively or negatively. Scientifically, it's been proven. So when we utter the Serenity Prayer, the power that comes from that is that now there is a division that's taking place. We're dividing what we can change and what we cannot change. What we can change, we're asking for courage to do so. And what we can't change, we are asking for acceptance. Why is that beneficial? That is beneficial because all too many of us have taken on things, people, places, situations that we cannot change. And because we can't change them, we are hurting inside, we're dying inside, we are wanting to use sometimes, maybe not a drug, but maybe something else, because we're so frustrated and hurt that this particular situation is not something that we have any power in. And we keep striving to make it change. For some reason, we have this inflated ideal that just because our hands are in it, that the other side, the B side, is going to line up and change and become what we want it to be. And when it doesn't, we have our feelings hurt. We get upset, our mood changes, we're frustrated, we become angry. And as a result of those things, we start to speak things that we should not be speaking negatively about. Because I would not be feeling negative and angry and hurt and frustrated and tired and defeated about that particular situation had I not gone into it with an unrealistic expectation, one of myself and of others. The basic text tells us, and I'm paraphrasing, but I'm very close, that relationships tend to be a terribly painful or horribly painful area because we tend to place unrealistic expectations on who? Ourselves and others. And when we don't get what we want, what we're expecting, then we start to change how we interact. That is a conflict of nature. That is a spiritual tantrum. I'm going to do thus and so, and I expect for you to do thus and so. And if you don't do thus and so, then I'm going to make you pay by the way that I treat you or speak to you, or maybe the silent treatment, or not deal with you at all. I'm not talking about things that have to do with dignity and people treating us with a level of respect that we should be able to give to all human beings. I'm not talking about you cooking dinner for your partner and them coming home and one, not even eating it, not even acknowledging that you made it, or in the worst case scenario, cussing you out and telling you something about how they hate your cooking. I'm not talking about abuse. Believe me, I'm not. No human being should expect to be abused. But even on that tip, if the person has had the same patterns, why would you be expecting them to do anything different? I mean, I'm just saying, you can't change them, and they've showed you over a period of time that they have no intention on changing that. Believe who they're showing you they are. You remember that saying, when people tell you who they are, believe them? When people show you who they are, believe that's who they are. Do they have potential to change? Absolutely. But is it your business if they do or don't? No. If you're not responsible for them, raising them, children, minors that you're taking care of, the truth is that even young people have their own views and ideals. Be responsible for yourself. Let's be responsible for ourselves. We welcome change. We've been changing all along. We put the drugs down. We stopped using, and as a result of some of that, some definite changes have come about. We're grateful for those changes. They have positive impact in our lives. And as long as you're in recovery, you will always have an opportunity to change. Have you ever heard this saying that said the only thing that is constant is change? You will always have an opportunity to change. And you will always have an opportunity to practice the spiritual principle of surrender. It took a lot of courage for you to admit that you were an addict and that you needed change in that area. And today you put it down. You no longer pick up the drug when you are having a feeling that you're uncomfortable with. That is very courageous. That is change on a deep level. And the same energy that you brought to that change It's the same energy that we can bring to any change that needs to happen. When we need courage, we know where to go. We have a higher power, a God of our own understanding, right? And this goes for everyone. Good orderly direction, group of drug addicts. It doesn't matter what acronym you use for G.O.D. It doesn't matter to me if you use G.O.D. or not. Hopefully, if you're listening to this podcast, you have a higher power of your own understanding. Let's say, for instance, you are an atheist or agnostic or just not sure about this God thing. And you use meditation. I'm talking about Zen, deep meditation, right? You use meditation as a practice for your spirituality. And that energy you get from that, the peace that you get from that has become your higher power. That has become a power greater than yourself. Has it worked? Has it afforded you to change in the areas you needed to? Have you been able to utter this prayer through your meditation and found or heard or felt or experienced what you cannot change and received acceptance? And saw, heard, felt, experienced, sensed what you can change and receive the courage to come out of that meditation time and actually change it? Here's the thing. If it's working for you, it's working. Continue to do that. If it's working for you, do that. But if you have some higher power that you've established and it's not working, you don't receive any strength, any courage to come out of that interaction stronger and able to take on what is yours to take on, what is yours to change, you may need to reevaluate the understanding of your higher power that you have. If it's not enough, maybe it's enough and you actually just don't use your higher power, or you really don't have a relationship with your higher power that allows you or affords you the ability to humbly ask your higher power to rid you, to remove these shortcomings from you. Maybe you don't have that kind of relationship, not because it's not available, but because you won't take the time and energy to pour into that. If that's the case, that's a problem and that's something you need to change. But I guarantee you, if you stop using drugs, you've found some of the most powerful courage that there ever will be. And you can maximize that. You can build upon that. You can allow it to be a catalyst into further change. I can't tell you how many people I know that have come into the program of Narcotics Anonymous, stopped using drugs, and decided that they were going to stop smoking cigarettes. They were going to stop using sex as a mind mood-altering act. They decided that they weren't going to be, in relationships with various people, but to be monogamous. There's some people that decided, well, if I can stop using drugs, I can stop overeating. I can stop that. And they've lost weight and become healthier individuals. If I can stop drugs, I can stop lying. If I can stop drugs, I can stop gambling. They've used their initial surrender and courage to change their drug use. They've used it as a catalyst to change wonderful things in their lives. And I just want to say, if they can do it, if I can do it, you can do it. I believe in you. I truly, truly do. I don't think you would be listening to this podcast if you did not have the desire to change, the desire to stop using drugs is the only requirement for membership in Narcotics Anonymous. With that desire, you were able to get the courage to actually stop. You may not have stayed stopped. You may have relapsed, but you got back up and you gave it another go. And I have faith in you. I believe that you can do that in all these other areas. But don't leave it up to me. Don't let MightyStream be the end and be all on the topic. You go to your higher power. And however you commune with your higher power, your God of your understanding, you seek direction through this simple serenity prayer to have the revelation of what you can change and what you can't. The serenity to accept those things that you can't change. To have peace about something that you really would love to see change, but you have no power to change it. I have to have serenity about all these people around me falling over dead from the disease of addiction. Right? I can't change what a person puts in their body and when they put it in their body. And I most certainly can't change if today is the day they will overdose or not. So I'm always asking for serenity to accept that. This simple prayer is powerful, and I suggest that you get it into your brain where it's something that you can use when you're walking down the road, when you're standing there and somebody's cussing you out and you want to lay hands on them. This could be your go-to. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you. I'm shortly going to be doing your spiritual principle a day in a meditation. However, I have totally enjoyed this discussion with you, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. I'm going to be talking to you later and definitely, God willing, tomorrow. But in the meantime, I would like for you to commit to today being your best day, to today being an awesome day, one filled with serenity and peace. Have a beautiful day on purpose.